So we're going to talk about what's at stake. Daniel Clifton, head of policy research at Strategas, a Baird company. Good morning to you, sir. What are you expecting Mr. McCarthy to say?
Well, I think it goes back to your introduction. In 1985, government spending was elevated above its historical average, and President Reagan was like, we need budget reforms that are going to be attached to the debt ceiling. 2011, very similar to today, Speaker Boehner went to the New York Economic Club and said, we're going to need spending reforms. Today, government spending is about 24% of GDP, about 4% higher than its normal average. And Kevin McCarthy is going to say we need budget reforms that are going to accompany the debt ceiling increase. Right. Now, it's one thing to talk about this, Andrew. It's another to be able to act on it. Why would the president have any incentive to negotiate with the Republicans if they can't pass a bill out of the House of Representatives? It was only until after Speaker Boehner was able to get a bill out of the House of Representatives in 2011 that you really saw real negotiations happen on the debt ceiling. I think that's what Kevin McCarthy's trying to do today. He's trying to send a message to his caucus that they need to pass a bill. That needs 218 votes out of the House of Representatives. He's going to try and do it in the next 2 weeks. He's going to outline what he wants to see in that bill and then say, then we should have true negotiations with the Senate and the White House overall. So that's where I think he's coming from, in addition to announcing what that plan is.
How much of this is a bank shot of sorts, which is really, I think, maybe an effort to influence the investment community, the folks who are watching us this morning, to get a little anxious and nervous, or at least to agree with him, if that's the case, and then get on the phone?
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. A secondary audience is investors. Investors have been complacent. Now, if you're an investor, you're waking up this morning, you want to know what earnings are going to do. You want to know what China's economic growth is going to do. This is in the background, but it's coming. And the speaker is warning it's coming. Remember, the speaker's got to get an agreement amongst his very razor-thin majority in the House. Then you got to negotiate and get 60 votes in the Senate, and you got to get the White House to sign off on that. Even under the most cleanish debt ceiling scenario, this is going to go right up to the X date, even if it's under the best case scenario for investors. And I think what the speaker's trying to do is ring that alarm and say, you need to be focused on this. This is going to be a protracted debate that's going to take 4 months.
Dan, that is the way I look at this. Look, Kevin McCarthy has such a thin margin and he has such high demands. I don't know how he gets anything past his caucus that there's any way that the Biden administration is going to sign off on. I mean, how do they come to some sort of agreement between the two of them?
Awesome question. I think you're right there. The defense hawks don't want to cut spending right away. The conservatives want defense and non-defense cuts. The moderates don't want as many cuts at all. And so first step is you got to get a bill with 218 votes, pass that over to the Senate. Once you do that, the default risk from the House Republicans gets transferred over to the Senate. That should set up some sort of negotiation. But let's be serious here, Becky. This is going to be some watered down plan that's going to come back. It's going to be bipartisan to get out of the Senate. And that means that what passes the House in the next couple of weeks will be very different than what gets passed into law.
And
if you go back into 2011, that's exactly what happened in 2011, where Boehner passed a more conservative bill, went to the Senate, and then a different bill came back, and ultimately the debt ceiling got lifted. It is a very tough process. I think that's why the speaker's trying to warn Wall Street about it.